You guys like my cupcake? It lights up. I changed my filming spot.
I'm over here now.
Standing. I used to be sitting in a chair in that side of my room, but I felt like I couldn't move around at all without it like making a really loud noise, and it would be like Now you get to see my very mature items that definitely are not toys. Anyways, I don't even know what I'm talking about right now. Today, I'm gonna be making like blind bags. If you don't know what a blind bag is, basically, it's like there's little toys that you don't know what you're getting.
Like they come in a little bag?
And you can't see what exact toy is inside of it. I guess it doesn't have to be a toy either. It could be like whatever. I think I'm out of things to say. I feel like I've talked a lot during this introduction. Yeah, I guess I'll go ahead and start. The first thing that I wanted to sculpt was a piece of cake, so I took some beige clay and sculpted it into a triangular shape. And then I took this weird looking tool and I stabbed it about 500 times, just so the texture would look more realistic. Honestly, I think it definitely looks more like a makeup sponge than anything right now, but I'm gonna add icing by cutting it in half and putting a little piece of pink clay inside of it. I also added the same shade of pink frosting to the outsides of it, and I made a little frosting turd to go on top of it, which I think is pretty cute. I also added some sprinkles, which I think I made a little too small. I should have made them a little bit larger. And then I added a little face. I think the face is pretty cute. After that, once it was out of the oven, I put some varnish on it just so it looked all shiny and nice and finished. So next I'm going to be making a donut. So I took the same beige clay and then I put some frosting on it. I chose brown. On camera the color looks a lot less pleasant than it is in real life. And then I decided I would add some pink frosting on top of that. So I started making a little swirl of frosting. Then I realized it looked like an earthworm, so I decided to rip it off. Instead I added some sprinkles, which I think looks better, but it might be a few too many. Then I reattempted the frosting worm. It doesn't resemble an earthworm as much since it's white instead of pink, and I think it looks a little better anyway. Then I added the face, which I think is pretty cute. Okay, so after it came out of the oven, it suffered some trauma and all the sprinkles fell off. So I decided to take some white frosting paint and decorate it that way. I think that the clay one was cuter, but this one is fine too. It's still pretty cute. I also added some sprinkles, which I like, and I added some varnish to it when it came out of the oven. Next, I wanted to make a slice of pizza, so I took a little triangle and rolled it into a little crust at the end. I also took some red clay to make the tomato sauce, and I took some yellowish clay to make the cheese. Honestly, I think the cheese is a little bit too light. I feel like I should have made it more yellowish. I do think the toppings look pretty cute though. In real life, I definitely prefer just plain cheese pizza. And I had a little bit of trouble getting its cheeks to stick on there, but eventually I got it to work. It was pretty easy to put the eyes on this one though, since it was so flat, which was pretty nice. And I think that it turned out pretty cute when it was finished. It might be my favorite. Alright, so now I'm going to start adding the designs that I'm going to attach to the blind bags. Instead of actually drawing on the bag itself, I'm just going to draw on a separate sheet of paper and attach it later on. I think that that'll just be a lot easier, and I also think it'll make it look a little bit better. I honestly think that this part was more fun than making the clay itself. I don't know, I just always preferred drawing over clay, but both are pretty fun. Alright, so then I made these little guide type things to go on the back of it, and I wrote all the little different rarities on it. It took me a long time to realize that I subconsciously based it off of Fortnite. And here's what all the different drawings looked like after I finished coloring them in with alcohol markers. Afterwards, I took a sheet of construction paper and I folded it in half. I used a pencil sharpener to make the edges nice and crispy. I'm not going to open these on camera because they're actually a gift for someone, but I guess it'd be kind of dumb if I did open that on camera since you know what's inside of them. But I did have a great time making these. I'm not sure if I did it exactly the right way or not, but I still like them a lot. Here's what it looks like after I'm completely finished. I really like the way each of them turned out. I think the cake one is probably my favorite overall. If you haven't done these yet and you'd like to make some, I would recommend it. It only took me a few hours in total, and it also had pretty cute results, and they'll make nice gifts for people and stuff, which is pretty cool. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I had a great time making it, and hopefully you enjoyed watching it, and I'll see you whenever the next time I upload is.